Did you ever consider just like, since it's this close to the end of the season, just kind of sitting out through the rest of it?
That was an option brought up, but I didn't really want that. I mean, we've had some losing seasons here, and that's happened before. I had a bad concussion a couple years ago where we played it safe, and I started to feel good toward the last couple games and ended up not playing it out of safety for the head stuff, and I didn't really like that, and want to be able to play. If you're healthy and feel good enough to play, then play. And there'd be a lot of wasted games in your career, I feel like, if I tried to think that way all the time. So I just want to be able to play when I'm healthy.
Are you feeling 100%?
I think so, yeah, 100%. I feel fully capable of everything I'm doing on the ice, and there's always going to be a little bit of soreness, I think, but as long as it's not pain, then I'm happy with that.
Was there any setbacks, or did it take longer than you were expecting?
It just took longer. There wasn't any extra setbacks, but it just took longer than expected. I'd have days off the ice where I was just hanging out, resting, and it felt really good. I would wake up with no pain and feel 100%, and then I'd start working out and activating the hip areas around my hip, and it would turn into pain again. So there's just a lot of kind of false hope, I'd say, where I felt I was okay, and then I'd start to test it and it would hurt. So just a long time of that, of waking up every day, wishing that was that day that was going to turn the page, and it just didn't.
Do you think that it was attributed to any particular reason? Did the doctors tell you
that it didn't heal?
Right, like why?
Quick?
Why
no, it's a weird injury. It doesn't. No one has a specific timeline. Everyone has different ways of healing and different even symptoms that come from it. I talked to Logan Couture, actually, who had it in San Jose. He's been out all season with it. He played like 6 games this year, and his came back after he tried to play a few games. So it's cool to have different resources of people who have been through the injury and kind of hear everyone's case and what different treatments they do and their different ways of healing.
Yeah, that sounds frustrating as hell.
Yeah, it is. He had it really rough, and his pain level sounded way worse than mine. But it was just a confusing injury that is frustrating. I think when guys don't know a specific way to heal it in a specific timeline.
But frustrating for you too. I mean, you said that you woke up, you feel fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have days. I remember specifically after the bye week, I was going through the bye week thinking I was going to come back and play the first day back, and then as soon as I'd start to pull with my groin or do something in the gym, it would just hurt. And so it's just like you try different things, and certain days were better than worse, but there's always a little bit of a reminder that the injury was still there. So yeah, just 2.5 months of waking up every day hoping that was the day. It almost would have been better if you just knew a distinct timeline to not think about it and go forward with it.
How bad did the pain get?
Not that bad. It was just, I mean, when I had a few games before the last game I sat out where I had pain and just pushing through it, and it was just like every day in between I was like kind of limping around walking. It hurt on my hip to try to even walk, and then it didn't take long for that pain to go away where I could walk smoothly, but it was more just getting out of bed and off the couch where you'd pull your leg over and your groin would activate and it would hurt. So, but that, like I said, that didn't last too long. That's why I was optimistic I was going to come back way earlier.
Gone a long time. How much has the team changed since you last played?
I mean, the roster's not that much different. It's still around every day and trying to hang out with the guys around the room. But obviously we have a mixture of young guys coming in and out, which is exciting to see what they can do. And obviously not the season we wanted, and it's still very frustrating, the amount of losses we've had the last couple of years now. And you just try to keep reminding yourself to work through as a team and get better in every way you can to get past this bad stretch of ours.
I was just going to say, did you learn something about the team while you were kind of having the bird's eye view of it?
There's takeaways you have from games and the team overall, but there's nothing. I don't know if there's anything you learn specifically. You just watch tendencies, and sometimes you even watch other players and other teams. You try to watch games and see the good teams that are playoff teams, what they're doing, and different habits that they're, especially me as a defenseman, watching other guys to see how they can play.
Sorry if this was already asked, but there's a fair share of guys on this roster that have had setbacks with injuries this year longer than they expected. One that you kind of really related with at all during your time?
I think perspective is a big key when you're out hurt, and a guy like Taylor Hall, who had that injury. The ACL is one of the worst you can have, and what he's been able to having to do coming on a new team, having a kid to start the year, and not being able to be a part of things and get to really gel and mesh with the team and insert yourself in the lineup every night. He's had a hard go and had a great attitude and been able to bond with them off the ice, and I think he's been definitely a good guy for everyone to see how hard it can be and how much those big surgeries, how long they take, and the grind you have to show up consistently. When no one's around, the team's not around, no one's there working out with you and push through the scar tissue and the strengthening. And he's definitely been a guy that's been out and been there for everyone.
When did you start feeling 100% again?
It's hard to say. I mean, when I started skating the last 2 weeks, I'd say I felt 100%. But you're just monitoring. You're testing every step of the way. You're testing sprinting, stops and starts, pivoting, battling, conditioning. There's so many different steps you have to pass along the way to get to 100% and know that it's strong enough to withhold that. So I think a couple weeks ago is when I started confident that I was going to continue to progress to the point of being able to play.
How much of that is just the mental side of feeling like you can let loose on the groin after you've had so many starts and stops?
It's both. Mentally, it's good to get confident, but it's also mentally tough. Sometimes you want to push through it. A lot of us tend to err on the side of wanting to just be okay with some pain and play, but the trainers are there to make sure to rope you in and make sure you know that you got to be at a certain level of tolerance and strength to not push through that, and then at that point you can build into confidence and not thinking about it and letting it go.
Do you know who you're going to be paired with?
I don't know. Today I was playing with Del Mastro in some of the practice drills, so that would be cool if we get to play with him. He has an unbelievable year in the minors this year so far, and a big, strong defense with great hands. This seems to be the key consistency with us. We have Vlasic and him, and it's amazing. Those big guys, when I was their age, was pretty clumsy. I'm still a little clumsy, but it's been impressive at that young age. What those guys can do, see what they can do in the lineup.